All right, and next we have the session on the topic ethical and responsible procurement, fostering trust and transparency in sourcing. And to speak on this topic, I request Mr. Rutvik Dev, Head Purchase and Supply Chain MYK, LATICRETE India Private Limited, to please come upon the stage. Everyone, please give him a big round of applause. Mr. Rutvik is a passionate techno-commercial professional with extensive experience across various sectors since 2012, including machine building, textiles and garments, commodity and specialty chemicals, pharmaceuticals, architecture and interior, and global distribution. He has managed a spend of close to 1,500 crore per year, working directly under CXO for planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling operations. He is responsible for the management of relationships with 250 plus vendor pools for class A and B spending. A big round of applause, everyone, for Mr. Rutvik Dev.
Hello. Thank you. That's okay. Thank you. Am I audible? Okay. So this is officially last panel, and I understand that it is difficult to stay awake. I'll try to do justice so that it becomes more interactive. My slides are plain, very less data, only few things. Rest of the things I'll be talking, and we can interact over it. And officially with this presentation, we are moving from artificial intelligence to a human intelligence, because there is nothing called AI in these slides. All right? So first off, the note that this is the presentation which I'm doing on my personal capacity. No part of this is connected to my organization. Right? Thank you. Okay, so ethical and responsible procurement, fostering trust and transparency in the sourcing. See, this is a vast, large topic. You can write books on it. So particularly talking about everything under the sun, I have only considered the external stakeholders' viewpoint, which is typically your supplier or a supply partner, which you call in different organization, or a vendor. All right, these are the 4 sub-elements which we consider while we are talking about ethical and responsible procurement. These 4 steps are important to, balance the human intelligence part, or you can say relationship with your stakeholders, where we are talking about it is ethical, it is responsible, and it is transparent. So the first part is building trust. Trust has 2 elements. Generally, trust of the capability of the person. That person knows how to purchase a steel-based product, or a Hest alloy-based product, or a SS304 product, or plastic, or he understands the aerospace industry, or chemical, or chemistry, or value chain, or something. And second one is the intention. While we are working with some supplier, we know that he is going to supply during the fair weather condition, but the moment storm comes, he or she will vanish. So that's a part. So there is a component called competence and character. Character talks about intent and integrity. So intent is whether a supplier is caring or not, we are caring or not, we are transparent or not, we are open or not, we are giving feedbacks honestly or not, we are fair, whatever we are speaking with authenticity, we are clear what we are saying. Again, the capability, skill, knowledge, experience, what we have seen, and the last is results. So historical data, no supplier forgets. The impression created by you in one organization or another remains forever in the minds of the supplier. Every industry is very small. Select few people are leaders, and people know every one of them with name. And one fantastic thing I've heard from my first boss, that supplier किसी का नहीं होता, वो सिर्फ धंधे के लिए होता है. So ultimately, those all reputations get piled up somewhere, and you will work accordingly. The second one is being ethical. So ethics is basically value system of a person, value system of an organization, value system of the department. The biggest dilemma over here is whether it is ethical, whether it is moral or whether it is legal. Many times we are getting confused between these three words. Sometimes being legal doesn't mean it is ethical. Legally, you can lay off somebody with some contractual agreement. But it is not ethical or moral to lay off somebody. At what condition you can lay off, or you can fire supplier on some legal ground. That contract obligation says, if you don't supply this much quantity on particular month, you can fire that supplier. But you get to know that because of some flood in that area, that supplier was affected and you are firing them. Whether that is ethical, whether that is moral, is a question, right? So when this is a general PPT I have taken from Google. So what is moral, what is ethical, what is legal or law-based thing? This is general, you can say definition, but more or less I have explained. So I am going ahead. A third part is understanding needs and wants of each other. This is the most critical element about the relationship, or you can say transparency, or you can say trust. Generally, being in purchase, we are sophisticated bullies. We talk about reduction of the price. We talk about I am having volume. I can dictate my terms to the vendor. That happens. That happens during the fair weather when you are in a condition where market doesn't have volume. You are the only buyer. But imagine you are buying masks and all of a sudden COVID crisis comes. What will happen if you are continuous bully? Are you going to get that material or not? So मेरे एक साहब बताते थे कि जब अच्छे दिन है सप्लायर आपके हाथ पांव दबा रहा है, जब बुरे दिन आएंगे आपको फुल बॉडी मसाज देना पड़ेगा सप्लायर को. So this is very, very raw and you can say rustic term, but I believe that is most important. And I believe one thing, that is being a head of procurement or a senior manager of the procurement team or a senior person or older, or you can say many words in the team, your key role is to understand requirement of the supplier, because every supplier is different, every vendor is different, every partner is different, and everyone has a different requirement. Same time, every organization is different and every organization has different phases of the lives. Like human has different life cycle, organization also have. So in different stages, what are the requirements, right? This is Rutvik's expectation from the source. I expect volume. They should give me volume, what I want. I expect storage space. They should store all my material. Competitive price. Neutral branding or Rutvik's branding, rather than buying in the brand of the supplier, I want to buy my neutral brand. Knowledge anchorship, they are expert of their product manufacturing. Can they share? Right now I am buying 70-gram bag in a packing material. There is new polymer which is in the market. I can reduce the weight from 70 gram to 20 gram. The strength is same. I need that knowledge anchorship. Product application knowledge, whether the product can go into the static charge generating place, whether it will be fire hazard or not. I need those knowledges, right? Product can go in some application or not, replacement can happen or not. These are the requirements of the organization. At every stage, what requirement is important for me? Customer segmentation, regulatory compliances, like REACH. You are getting some monomer purchased from some supplier and you are supplying polymer to that market. Now, as per REACH, you have to register your monomer. You can't register a polymer. So if your supplier is already registered under REACH, you can directly use them and directly export to the Europe. With supplier is SME, so directly he cannot do, but you can do, right? A preferential treatment. So if 1,000 ton is the volume they are producing and market requirement is of 1,200 tons, the rationalization is going to happen. Whether he or she will give the preference to you over somebody or not. I want consistent supply, scalability, ease of operation, customization, formula-based pricing. Everybody's dream is to buy on formula-based pricing, but very few suppliers agree. Market intelligence, the prices of PVC are very volatile because any day anti-dumping duty can come. Titanium dioxide, already anti-dumping paper came and all Chinese suppliers stopped giving titanium dioxide. No shipments are happening. I am expecting huge turmoil in next 3 months in titanium business, anybody who is working in paint or plastics are going to face it. Let's see what can be done. India has a manufacturer, but that quality is very different. Formulation will need different treatment. Whether that will work or not, I'm not sure. So basically that market intelligence comes from my vendors. I need exclusivity, some kind of product I'm developing as a joint project, and I want exclusivity. That supplier should not give that material to someone else. It should be exclusively developed for me. I want raw material strength. He should be in position to hold the material for long period. Credit terms, everybody's dream, 90 days, 120 days, 160 days, 180 days. I've heard of every credit term. While my favorite credit term is take against delivery and give me cash discount. Because I'm talking about total cost of ownership. So ultimately, rather than taking credit, I am able to get the cash discount. That is the best discount I can get, right? And logistical support. I want FOR delivered at my factory rather than buying on Xworks, taking all hassles of talking to driver and getting materially delivered. And the most important is the quality control. So these are my expectations. But out of all, at all situations, do I expect all? Are all requirements important for me at all point in time? Every point in time, I'll have one or two important aspects. Others will be non-important. So this is my negotiation arsenal. You can say BATNA, right? Best alternative to non-agreeable, non-negotiated agreement. So what I can negotiate against another, I want exclusivity, but against exclusivity, supplier wants guaranteed volume. Am I in position to negotiate? Right? So that's my expectation. So understanding my expectation is the first step. Second step is what supplier expects from me. Supplier expects funds. Supplier expects technology. SMEs don't have technology. They want support. Suppose I am buying sand. My gradation is maybe 50% yield out of entire crushed stone. If I can help him to achieve yield rather than 55% to 75%, he will be better off? Answer is yes. If I ask at current yield to reduce 20% price, whether he will be in position? No. But if I increase his yield by 25%, whether he will be agreeing to pass on half of that benefit? The answer is yes, big yes. So they might need technology. EOS is economies of scale, volume, documentation and compliance. Small scale suppliers don't know how to register under FAMIQS or REACH or ISO or all those things. We have big departments. They are sitting, they are doing this work 24/7 for every new factory or every new plant. They are doing same. They have ready-made frameworks where they just need to put a data and support my vendor and they will be in position to do it, right? Market reach. Very important because every SME supplier, we all have at least 50% SME suppliers. SME suppliers don't have market reach across India or across world. If I am sitting in Hyderabad and I am having factories across globe, the market reach is automatically achieved for them. One place approval, everywhere supply. He can't reach to Bulgaria. But if I have a factory in Bulgaria, he is a direct supplier to Bulgaria, right? Consistency in volume. This is the most important aspect. No supplier will say you that I don't want this. Every supplier will appreciate 20 tons of every month volume against 100 tons in 1 month and no volume in next 5 months, right? And optimum price, nobody is asking for lowest price or highest price. They want optimum price. What does optimum price? They should be in position to run it easily and they should be in position to run while market is fluctuating, raw materials are fluctuating, they should be in position to absorb that shock. 5% price up and they will be in loss will be a no-brainer. They will stop supply. They will give you XYZ reason, my factory is down, my machines are down, I am not able to supply. Because nobody wants to spoil relationship. They will tell you my machines are spoiled or my machines are not working, but actual reason is their economics are or unit economics are not permitting them to supply. And the last is exclusivity. They also want exclusivity. This is the biggest thing. Supplier says, I'll invest 10 crore rupees for you to make bags. But I won't guarantee that you will exclusively buy from me and my ROI period will be 2.5 years. Now, how will you handle? Because de-risking is everybody's target. If you give to one vendor and his or her plant is stopped, how will you manage it? The fantastic solution to this is you can do exclusivity to the plant I have one plant in Hyderabad, another in Delhi. I have given exclusivity of Hyderabad to one party, Delhi to another party. Worst case scenario, I have a force majeure clause. If your plant is stopped, I can buy from another vendor. Right? Every vendor is ready to do that. So once we have this need requirement from our side as well as their side, and when we put into the matrix, this is a simple framework, right? You don't need to think too much. This is a simple framework. Tick, what is the first, what is the second, what is the third requirement of supplier? You give them 1, 2, 3, and they will be ready to give everything you want from the previous slide, right? So this is not something magical. This is just a magic of the making a framework. We all do unknowingly these all steps. It is just writing in a sequence. There you can use it as a checklist. And the last one, being transparent. How many of us share with our 1,000 years also, if we humans are purchase heads, we need to learn these aspects rather than analytics, because you can hire one analyst from some IT company at maybe 1/3 of the cost which you are right now spending on software, and do that job. That guy will do some open source software and run the show. But where will you find this kind of aspects? You have to train yourself. So on this subject, I have one SME supplier, one multinational, and one government PSU. All three are supplying me same product. Do you think the communication, the treatment I am giving or they are giving to me is same? It's impossible. Public sector will be working very, very differently than a private multinational working, and an owner will be working very, very differently. I might have to sit with the owner for 3 hours discussion, followed by 1 hour of dinner and half an hour of wines, to understand what is there in his brain and work jointly with him. Government organization, I might not be able to get information even if I do everything. I might have to only bribe. Or I might have to talk with somebody known, get the information indirectly and then attack on that and have to work. Whereas multinational, there is a long bureaucracy. I have to send an email, they have to get 10 level of approvals, and finally I'll get the information. So what is the real situation of your company and why that situation has arrived and how that situation can be solved by joint efforts are the 3 steps. One is information. Second is explanation, the why part behind any situation. And the last part is joint development, or you can say value addition, you can say co-creation. Many buzzwords are going on in the internet. But yeah, ultimately it is involvement of them in our business and our involvement in their business, right? So according to me, this is the transparency, this is the ethics, this is the everything what I was talking about, right? And that's it. Thank you very much. That's my 15 minutes over. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. We would like to felicitate you, and to do so, I request Mrs. Indira Singampalli, Head Strategic Procurement Biologics, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories Limited, to please come upon the stage and felicitate our speaker. A very big round of applause, everyone. Once again, a very big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.